Says we're live. So how's it going, everybody? Those of you that are new to the channel, I see at least a couple of names here that I don't recognize from earlier. My name's Austin, and of course this is Fintastic Freaks. I don't have the shirt on like I did last week to just show the logo and such, but alas, see that we got already a good number of people here. Welcome each and every one of you. Looks like Maria Z getting some a pisto fry. Very nice. It's always exciting when you get fish fry and such. Looks like one of my lights might be off. Give me just a second here, guys. There we go. A little bit better, I guess. Looks like there was a little bit of weird shading there on the one side. My hat might be contributing to that. But first and foremost, see a whole bunch of folks coming in here. How's it going, everybody? Chris Robertson, support group for a mermaid fetish. I mean, we can get a fun going for a mermaid tank here. I'm all for it. Okay. Atkins Nature Aquariums, welcome. Says your first time here. Welcome aboard here. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe if you, or perhaps if you like what you see here, would love to have you on board. But welcome aboard to the stream here today. Mystery Snail Garden, Siren Sister. I mean, how big of an aquarium do you need for a mermaid, right, guys? Well, as you can see from the title today, one of the main things I want to talk about is, basically what started this whole fish hobby for me. I mean, I feel like everybody has this little, story about how they got started in the fish hobby, which, by the way, if you want to share your story, feel free to put them in the comments here on the live chat, and I'll do my best to catch as many of them as I can here. But, Ben subbed. Didn't know you did live stream, says Atkins. Okay, cool. No, this is just the second week I've been doing that. Seen some other guys like I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Chattanooga Ed, Fish Room Fever, Rico Stan Aquarium Co-op, especially Aquarium Co-op probably. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to give this a go myself. But as I was saying here, I feel like everyone has like a little story about what got them started here in the fish keeping hobby. But like I said before, if you guys want to share a little bit of your story or as much as you wish, feel free to put them in the live chat here. I'll try to read as much as possible here. I know there's a character limit here, so but I'll get to as many as I can here. But what kind of started me, my father was always into fish keeping, but the family member that really was huge into it was an uncle of mine that lived up in the Twin Cities in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota area. And I believe he even used to breed angelfish for a while. And he, to this day, still has some angelfish tanks. And I want to say he has, give or take, around 20 aquariums himself. I myself currently have 26 running. He has nothing as big as like my 240 here, but I want to say his biggest tank, he's still got like a couple 75s, I want to say. But he breeded angelfish. He's still awesome with aquarium plants and such. Does not have a YouTube channel. Might have to try to see if I can talk him into that, though, at some point here, though. I remember whenever I would go to see them up there in the Twin Cities with my family, I'd always want to see his fish room. And every time I walked on there, I mean, it was just, I always got that relaxed feel. It was always so cool to look at. He always had so many fish. I mean, sometimes I know Maria Z was trying to catch some fry of them, but some Apisto fry, I think he's had some of those before. I think he still does, actually. Live bears, guppies, mollies, swordtails, all those guys. Rainbows. Well, I know rainbows aren't live bears, I believe, but angelfish. I mean, some egg layers as well. He's had all sorts of cool looking fish down there that could like live in 20s, or I think he's got some 40 breeders in the past as well. Just all sorts of cool, colorful fish. And at that young age, I always kind of just told myself, it'd be really awesome to have something like this someday. Let's see. I think we already got one story here. Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo. Alrighty. My fourth grade teacher, she gave me 4 baby fry black mollies. Ooh, I love those fish. that jet black on them is so pretty. I need to get another molly tank at some point. It's been a long time since I've kept those. 45 years ago, my first job was at a local fish store. Been in the hobby ever since. Well, that's one up on me. I have not worked at a local fish store before. Some of my friends that come down here and such say that I just as well have a fish store down here with as many tanks as I have and as many fish. I guess I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not going to say I won't ever maybe give it a try. I have thought about maybe trying to get my own store here. Only thing is, in terms of a business aspect, like dollars and cents wise, or even really economics, that's just not exactly a subject that I'm all that stellar in, to be honest with you guys. But plenty of time. Might have to learn here. I guess continuing the once right. My father, as I said, also kept some fish. My father had like pretty basic fish overall. Like we would have like a Tetra community tank and like a 38. I feel like at some point he had like a 55 too. But I know like a 38-gallon Tetra tank where we had like neons, black neons, had some Buenos Aires in there, some black skirt Tetras. And we had like a huge brown common pleco. Like it got so huge. I want to say it almost reached a foot, which I know some people now might be like, a foot long common pleco and a 38. What are you doing? But I mean, at that point, we were one of those, I guess, lack of a better way to put it, because I guess we both kind of ran the tank. We were both kind of uneducated at that point, but didn't make that mistake twice. I don't think I've had a common brown pleco since, because by the time that pleco passed, that was the first fish I ever gave a name to as well. That pleco's name was Brutus, and a big brown common pleco that, I want to say definitely got over a foot. I want to say before he keeled over, he was about 14, 16 inches. He was a big one. Let's see here. Chris Robertson, just got a 75 I'm setting up. I plan on getting mollies from Goliad Farms. I'll say again, guys, if I mispronounce any words here, I apologize. My pronunciation skills are not fantastic. Planning to get some mollies when they become available. That'd be awesome. I mean, mollies are a cool little fish. I mean, they're like I guess for lack of a better way to put it right now, I would word them as like a luxury guppy. I mean, they don't get as much colors or patterns like guppies do in their fins, but mollies are really a cool fish. Like I know somebody, I already forgot who it was already, mentioned the jet black. Actually, I think that was you, Eduardo. I think that you mentioned that. Yeah, I just see it right there now. The jet black mollies are probably one of my favorite. I got a copper molly that's still left over from a molly tank that I had a couple years ago that right as I was starting to get super deep into this hobby, I was just starting to learn about, like the whole nitrate cycle, because I was one of those that for a while that, I always knew you had to change the water once in a while because, the fish waste in the water would make things nasty. And I mean, no one wants to keep swimming in their own bathroom or their own filth for too long. But that's the only molly I still currently have. That molly, I've had him for a few years now, I want to say. He's been a trooper. He's been through a lot. I'll spare all the details, but some things were just based off the aquarium. Some of them were mistakes on me, and I'll admit some of his deals were his own shortcoming, I guess. See that we got all sorts of other folks in here. Mrs. Mischief Managed, welcome back. Remember you from last week. Natural Aquariums is here. Lumpy Dog as well. Mr. Aquatic News. Hey, how's it going there, guys? I remember seeing on the first stream as well as a couple of videos here. See, we got Scott's Aquatics here as well. Lots of folks saying hi. Lots of awesome folks here already today. See, we had Pet Exotics in here earlier. Got S in here. New Local Austin. Is that a goldfish in your thumbnail? Very nice. Goldfish are one of those fish I don't think get enough respect in this hobby. I know I guess they're not going to wow anybody. I mean, I guess to a degree, they can wow me with all the cool finnage and the vibrant orange, whites, blacks, you name it, whatever colors they all get, of course. Goldfish are truly an underrated fish in my mind. They're pretty awesome. It's why I keep a whole bunch in a 125. See, we got a whole bunch of other folks. 503 Aquatics, saw you here earlier, as well as Geek Boy. Welcome. All sorts of awesome folk here. I see Mrs. Mrs. Freak saying, and I love goldfish. To those of you that don't know, Mrs. Freak is the wife. So to those of you that don't know, Mrs. Freak is the person that allows me to do all this madness here in the basement. So make sure you give her a hidey-ho as well. Let's see. Rico Stan joining the crowd. What's going on, man? Always glad to see you here as well. Just shared the stream. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. I mean, it's a Monday. Getting to chill with the fish. Mondays are always a day I get off. My weekends are a little different from, I guess, a lot of people's normal. My 2-day weekends start Saturday evening because obviously being a sports writer, all sorts of sports still happen on Saturdays. Fortunately, they don't happen very much on Sundays other than NFL football. And living here in Council Bluffs, we don't really have any professional teams. So Sunday's usually a pretty quiet day, as is Monday for me. I asked wife is saying I should tell about how we got our goldfish. So our goldfish actually, perhaps, I'm sure a lot of you have been to Petco's, PetSmarts. I mean, who hasn't, right? The goldfish that we got were like those feeders, like the ones that you may buy, like some of you perhaps that have reptiles, like lizards, snakes, and all that. I myself will never have anything like down there. Nothing against those of you that do. Snakes are not my thing, but like those little feeder goldfish. We just got those, and my now mother and father-in-law had a pond where we put, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, dears, but I think it was about 10 or a dozen goldfish in this pond. A lot of them are little guys. Some of them got plucked off by wildlife, I'm sure, as I'm sure some raccoons and such, and birds and such would get out there and probably decrease the popularity in that tank. But I want to say when we first took them out, we had about 6 or so that still made it. The pond isn't very deep, so it totally freezes over in the winter here. And obviously here in Iowa, we have some pretty frigid winters, so didn't want to leave them in a tank that was going to totally freeze over. Goldfish can deal with cold water, but they can't swim in ice. But they started off in a little bowfront tank. Won't say the gallon-wise because I still cringe when I think about even though it was a short time they had to live in there, but still cringe at it. And then they eventually got upgraded to the 125-gallon tank. A couple of those comets have unfortunately passed since, but I think we still got like 3 or 4 of those originals still with us here. We've added some fantails with them since, and probably still one of my favorite tanks here overall. I mean, I love all my tanks, but goldfish are something special. Oh, Chris Robertson, only 80 miles from Council Bluffs, Omaha. Are you on the Nebraska or Iowa side of the Missouri here? Are you, I guess, yeah, you in the Husker State or, well, I won't call it the Hawkeye State. I'm with the Cardinal and Gold, not the Black and Gold. But, yeah, Omaha's a nice little place. It's got some fish swaps. It's got fish stores. Not a bad place to be. Let's see, Master Quags. Oh, just see that. Saw the other message here. I don't know how I missed it earlier. Always kept mollies. Today have over 100. Goodness gracious. That's impressive. Golden high-fin mollies. Ooh, those are pretty. And high-fin black mollies as well. 3 days ago, just another batch of fry. With 100 mollies, I can only imagine how many fry you'd get out of that. That's quite the load. How big of a tank do you got those in, Eduardo? I mean, I don't want to sound criticizing when I'm saying I'm just genuinely curious because that sounds like that'd be a gorgeous, gorgeous tank. Might be hard to keep plants in though, because every time I put live plants back when I had mollies, they'd always nibble on them until they were basically down to nothing. Oh, Chris, you're in Clarinda. Okay, yep, I know where that's at. You're down you're down pretty close to the Iowa-Missouri border there, actually. Actually, a little fun fact. I guess talking on Clarinda, I would actually drive through there quite a bit because, well, I got my bachelor's in Texas, but I did go one year actually to Northwest Missouri State, and I would always drive through like Shenandoah and Clarinda and such. Granted, I didn't get to see very much, but yeah, I know exactly where that is. Southwestern Iowa, right on. Wife saying that she loves goldfish. Yeah, the wife is also a big reason why I also have as big of a goldfish tank as I do. It's one of her soft spots as well. I bought 12. I thought that was about the right number. Let's see. I'd say today we're checking out and seeing all the people's stories about what got you started in the hobby. So, I mean, if you got a little story, a little fun fact of how you yourself got started here in the fish keeping hobby, lay it on us. Would love to hear it. Like I said, my father, my uncle, now that I think about it, actually, this was when I was really young. I want to say this was before I maybe even hit middle school, which has been like over 15 years ago at this point. But they used to have these huge fish. I can somewhat still picture them in my head here yet, but I want to say they might have been tinfoil barbs, and it was a pretty good sized tank. I mean, well, for tinfoil barbs, you need a good sized tank. Those suckers get pretty big. But yeah, they're big fish there as well. Actually, the more I think about it, they might have been bala sharks too, or the silver sharks, whatever there's like 5 names for all the fish out there, as we all know. But that was another one. I would always love looking at that and just seeing the big fish swimming around. Maybe that's how I got into the big monster fish like my puffers here as well. But I mean, something like this behind me where you got all sorts of fish just swimming around in all the color, not a bad alternative. Let's see. Oh, Eduardo, they're in 5 different tanks, 2 to 55 gallons. Parents are in the 55, have over 32 tanks in total. Dang. Well, then you got a little more than me there. I currently have 26 running. They range from 7 gallons to 240. But I've been wanting to, I guess this is probably a ways down the road here yet. I'm really thinking about trying to find a way where I can build a plywood tank, because obviously being a puffer guy, I really want to get him a booth puffer someday. It's another thing I can thank Aquarium Co-op and Corey for, his probably how I got into freshwater puffers, period. But see, we got some more here. Atkins Nature Aquariums. I started with a 20 gallon. It's a pretty good one to start with there. I think my first ever tank was a 20 gallon high, actually. You don't see them much anymore. I can't remember the last time I've seen a 20 high. Actually, the more I think about it might have even been more. I mean, it was a tall thing. It wasn't exactly a column tank. It still had its rectangular shape, but rectangular prism, is that the geometrical term for it? Chris grew up in Maryville and did some college at Northwest Missouri. Very nice. I mean, yeah, I loved that university. Did some things there that were kind of self-inflicted that made it not really work out there. We'll just leave it as I had some lessons to learn there. But still love the town of Maryville. Almost got a newspaper job there as a sports writer in Maryville. And I mean, the Bearcats or Maryville High School, I'll never forget their mascot, the Spoof Hounds. Before anyone comments, yes, I do know a little bit of the story of the Spoof Hound, but I don't want to get it fully wrong. It's something about a coach always calling his players Spoof Hounds because he thought they were a little lazy or something. And yeah, the name just stuck. Kind of a fun little story there on them. But Maryville's an awesome place. Very awesome place. Anyway, I don't think I ever finished yours, Atkins. Started with a 20-gallon, and first fish was a bluegill sunfish. That's a. I got to be honest with you. I would have never guessed that one for a first fish, honestly. Usually, whoever gets a first fish, my top three guesses or first guesses will either be obviously a goldfish, a beta, or probably guppies. But there's definitely exceptions all across the board. I know plenty of people that, have had other fish like cichlids to start with, or rainbows like what you see behind me. I've seen people that just do there's all sorts of things. Tetras, barbs, all sorts of great fish. Tetras and barbs aren't a bad one to start with either, because still a pretty hardy fish. Brendab. I apologize if I mispronounce any names here, but Brendab says my favorite monsters are my. Ooh, goodness, you're gonna really stretch my pronunciation skills on that one. Syndatus Imperius. That's definitely wrong. 3 and a 90. Yeah, I'm not good at, unfortunately, pronouncing those kinds of names. That's just never been my gift, unfortunately. But in a 90, 90s are awesome little tanks. You can do all sorts of things with those. I guess they have the same footprint roughly as a 75, but I mean, just sometimes I like that little extra height there as well. Gives you, I guess maybe with fish it doesn't mean a whole lot, but in terms of what plants you can put in there, then they can make a little bit of a difference. Like, I mean, my 240 here has roughly about the same footprint as like a 180 gallon does. It's just way taller. So plants like the jungle val you see here behind me looks pretty good once it gets tall and sees it, sway with the water and such. Or at least so I think so. Master Aquatics. Largest tank is a 200 gallon. That's a heavy load. 200 gallon, have 2 red melon discus with about 75 rummy noses. Ooh, that's pretty. I bet that is pretty. Rummy noses are a tetra that I've always liked, but I've never had. I really want to change that someday. Rummy noses, I think, are beautiful. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's the cardinal tetras and the neon tetras that are totally awesome. And one of my favorite tetras is the emperor tetra. The blue stripe, the blue eye. Whew, gorgeous. But yeah, the rummy nose tetras, I mean, I know their colors are a little simple. They kind of have like the same color scheme, I guess, as a roseline shark, only obviously get way smaller. But yeah, definitely one of those tetras that definitely want to have someday. Natural crayons, almost 40 years ago. Got a tank from one of my grandparents. Okay. It was a 20-gallon tank. Still remember a dwarf gourami amongst a variety of community fishes he kept in the tank. Oh man, gouramis are pretty. I mean, got a few of those in there too. Got some pearl gouramis, gold gouramis. I think one of the gold gouramis is right up here in the front by my thumb here. Opaline gouramis, there's all sorts of them. You can't go wrong with those. Gouramis kind of remind me of a combination between angelfish and rainbow fish. They have awesome colors, and then they have like those little whisker-like fins that flow in the water with them. It's a beautiful combination. The color and then just how they glide through the water. Ray Aquatics saying, what's up? Hey, how's it going, Ray? Welcome to the stream here. Those of you that might be just joining here, we're sharing our stories about what got us started in the fish keeping hobby. Like I said earlier, a quick little recap on mine. I had an uncle that breeded some angelfish. Don't think he still does it anymore, but still does a lot of plants. Has like almost 15, 20 tanks himself still to this day. And whenever I was young and we always visited my aunt and uncle up there, he lives in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota area up there. And whenever I saw his fish room, always thought it was so cool. And here I am today, fish room of my own. One of the many things that got me started. Let's see. Master Aquatics again. And George Coral 12 started with saltwater. Aquashella guy. Oh, okay. I haven't made an Aquashella just yet, so if there are people from Aquashella, I might be a little uneducated at this point because, unfortunately, I just haven't made one yet. The nearest one to me would, I guess I'd have to think about the mileage. My hunch would be the closest one for me would probably be Chicago. Maybe I need to try to make that one here in 2022 here. I know Dallas is coming right up, but unfortunately, I already know I'm not going to be able to make that one just because, well, we had the wedding and all that as here just last month in September, me and Mrs. Freak here. But did about a week and a half in Colorado afterwards. So unfortunately, all my vacation time is spent, at least until January rolls around. But definitely Aquashella is on my bucket list. Definitely want to make that someday. I hear it's an absolutely awesome event there. Can't wait to see some of y'all's videos though on them though. I always love watching those. So if you're going, definitely, even if it's just shorts or just doing little videos and such, feel free to share. Love seeing that stuff. Metro Crimes, your voice always reminds me of comedian Mark Norman. For some reason, the name rings a bell. I couldn't tell you any of his jokes, though, to be fully honest. I feel like I should know at least a couple, though, because the name does sound familiar, though. Brent Dab, your tanks look amazing. Thank you. I try. Got a couple of puffer tanks where I'm dealing with a little bit of an algae outbreak, but might just have to do a little bit of a deeper cleaning on that and just scrub that stuff off there. But get it under control at some point. Maybe I got too powerful of lights, is what it's saying. But let's see. Atkins started first saltwater reef. Very nice. Yeah, don't have any saltwater down here yet. I do have one brackish tank, though. If you saw my last stream, some of y'all will already know I put my 3 figure-8 puffers in a brackish tank now. So moved them out of the 29-gallon tank into a 54 corner tank now, where they're in, I think the specific gravity is about 1008 right now. Might bump them up a little bit more to like 10 or 12 here eventually, but lots of other projects. I got some very small green spotted puffers yet that I need to get moved over to their new tank. They're still okay in their 20-gallon long here, but not going to be for too terribly much longer. Got to start working on a stand for their new 90-gallon home so that I can also transfer them to their brackish water environment. Yellowstone Aquatics is here. How's it going, Yellowstone? Welcome. I think I've seen you here before. My memory is not always the greatest either. My memory is sometimes as great as my pronunciation skills. So, but yeah, with I think it was Brendab that said it earlier. Yeah, I mean with the tanks here, try to keep them all up here. They're all on their individual systems. I know some people here really like to put it all in one filtration system. My only worry about if you do that is if you get one tank that goes wrong with, like, say, a parasite, or if the parameters get knocked off at some point, then it only takes one tank if you have the whole filtration in one system. If one tank goes bad, it doesn't take long for them to all go bad, which is obviously not a good deal. So that's why I personally, I'll probably never put all my tanks on one system. I might try to find ways to condense it, but I'll probably never put them on one deal. But I like to think that's part of the reason why I can keep them looking at least respectable. Atkins Aquarium, yeah, green spotteds can go full salt water. I've heard before. I know that in the very least they need like heavier brackish parameters as they get bigger. I have been thinking about doing that 185 bow that I've had sitting around forever into the salt water, as I've said many times before. Might consider putting them in there. There's some other things I really want to put in there first. And, if there's room for them, we might, trying to think of the word, acclimate. There we go. Acclimate them to that tank. But, definitely don't want to go full freshwater to full marine, though. I think that, brackish, we'll eventually get them in there. Central air system. Yeah, I need to get some AC down here in my fish room, actually. Lee, now that you mentioned that, my fish room, obviously with over 1,000 worth gallons down here in the base, meant you can only imagine that, yeah, it adds a lot of humidity. So really need to find a way to, I mean, I have a dehumidifier, which, does a little justice, but at the same time, there's something to be said also about an air conditioning unit, because not only does it take some of this moisture out of the air, it also cools the air. I need to go ahead, I need to figure out something there. But because there's been days, especially here in the summer, because I mean, while Iowa gets very cold in the winters, it gets very hot and humid in the summers. Had some tanks that get over temperatures that are, well, not ideal, we'll say. Find some days where I'm putting some cooler water in their tank to keep the temperatures in check. Master Aquatics again. All my tanks have individual systems. That's what I do. Have similar tanks to mine. Gourami tank, a community like the one behind you. Oh, nice. Koi and fantail. Koi is another fish on my bucket list. Obviously, they just get so huge, and they live a long, long time. I think that some types of koi can even outlive us humans, I believe. I can't remember where it was I saw, but it might also just be a rumor too. I guess I don't know a whole lot about koi, so I don't want to say too much, but believe koi can even, that some types can live up to 100 years. That might be totally crazy. If so, feel free to tell me so. But yeah, it's koi are beautiful. If you're a koi fan too, I would highly recommend you check out one of my videos. It's been a few months ago now. I visited a store here in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It's up in the northern part of Iowa. There's a big, beautiful indoor koi pond. The son of the owner had it there in the store, and you could even go in and, if you pay a little extra, they let you feed the koi. I mean, these were koi that some of them were easily over 2 feet big. I think a couple of them might have even been closer to 3. But big, huge koi, and they were beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Speaking of fish store videos, if you haven't seen already, I just posted a new video today, which is another fish store visit. I'm trying to remember. I believe I'm going to scroll through the chat to remind myself who it was. Chris Robertson, that's right. He was the one that said he was from Clarinda. Since I know you're in the southern part of Iowa, if you're looking for an awesome new fish store or ever in like the Iowa area, like southwestern Iowa or just western Iowa, southern Iowa, or even northern Missouri, whatever, I found this, I would honestly call it one-of-a-kind fish store. I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, it's kind of out in the country. It's not a place where you think you'd find a fish store of this kind, but a little fish store in just outside the small little town of Thayer, Iowa. Perhaps more recognizable here in the Iowa area. To some around the area might recognize Winterset, Iowa. It's about 20 miles away from there. So, 20, 30 minutes away from there. For me, it's a little over 2-hour drive. I think it's about 2 hours, 15 minutes roughly. It was a truly awesome place. I don't want to say too much because don't want to spoil the video, but once we're done with the live stream, if you haven't checked it out already, check out my new video where we checked out this store called the Fish Fix. I mean, they had cichlids, they had discus, all sorts of plecos, all sorts of angelfish. They had 6 species of freshwater puffers in there, which I have never seen anywhere before, not even here in the 4 stores that we have here in the Omaha area. And I mean, having gone to stores in the Kansas City area, Denver, Colorado, Des Moines here in Iowa, Lincoln, Nebraska. Been a hot minute since I've been up in the Twin Cities and saw their fish stores, but if you ever get up there, this store was pretty awesome. They had stingrays, cories, they had shell dwellers, live bears, you name it, they had it. And if they didn't have it, he already showed like the inventory of what they commonly order, they could get it. And I think he's actually about the store owner is trying to work on a system where they can do online orders. So I think he's working on getting his store a website here soon. If he does that, then I'll definitely have to put the link on here so y'all can check him out. because I mean their stock and their inventory was incredibly impressive. I'll definitely be going back there again. Oh, let's see. Went on a little bit of a talk there. Saw that we had some things going on here. Atkins, yeah, absolutely. I think when I acclimated my figure 8 puffers, I think I had them sitting for like, I know at least 3 hours. Might have been even a little bit over 4. I mean, they were sitting for a long time. Actually, no, I know it was even longer than 3. I think 4 might be more appropriate. It might have even been above that. I mean, yeah, it was. It's something that you definitely want to be patient on. You want them to have all the time they can to get used to it, and I feel like, yeah, the more thing about it was about like 4.5 hours because I started it late. I don't know why, but it was about 8:30 or so, and I don't think I put them in the tank until about half past midnight or even 1 in the morning when I transferred them over, and then I watched them for about another half hour to an hour to make sure they did all right. And they're loving life so far. It's so far so good. As you can see, the wife, Mrs. Freak, a koi pond is the dream. Yeah, someday, baby. Well, we're working on it. Herd koi been passed down from family members. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've heard that they can live for a long time, and I see Master Aquatics Eduardo right below. They're saying yes, over 100 years in Japan. Several YouTube videos with 100-year-old kois. I mean, yeah, I know it's a very I don't know, is sacred the correct word to use for how they hold it over there? I know it's a very important fish over there. It's one that kind of resembles a part of their culture. I couldn't tell you why. I'm unfortunately not very educated in that area. But yeah, I've seen some videos of some really big, beautiful koi that are really, really old and such. And I mean, yeah, they're pretty awesome fish. I definitely would think that at some point we'll give them a shot here. Just need a really big tank to hold them in since they get so massive in size. Fish that grows about the size of a moo puffer, 3 feet. Literally just set up. Oh yes, I presume we're talking about the koi ponds here. 3 months ago. All right, yeah, that's See, I couldn't put it outside here. We just have too many critters out here. Our house is right by a forested area, so I've seen like even things like hawks and owls and such. And I guess I wouldn't be so worried about the owls. I'm sure if they're smaller koi, then they might go after them. But I know we also got some folks nearby that don't do so awesome at keeping their dogs on their own property. I'll leave it at that. Otherwise, I'll go on a tangent on that. But just all sorts of reasons where it's like, I'll probably do an indoor pond when I get around to it. Might just get like one of those swimming pool deals. Like I think Ohio Fish Rescue does one of those. Another awesome channel there that love watching. Might have to do like what they do and just get like one of those framed pond thing or framed pools, excuse me, and just do like a pond like that. Because I don't trust the critters that are nearby our house to leave the fish alone. Oh, Chris Robertson, yeah, Fish Fix. Oh, have you already heard about the place? I mean, yeah, I guess something I didn't mention earlier when I was talking about this place. Fish Fix is only 12 months, or not 12 months, 12 weeks, excuse me, old. So it's like, yeah, only 3 months old, give or take, about that. I mean, going there, I mean, like I say, check out my video. You'll see just a little bit of the wide, awesome variety of fish that they have there. They're all freshwater, so if you're looking for saltwater, he doesn't have saltwater, at least not yet. I guess I'd never asked him if he planned to put any saltwater in there at some point. But yeah, it was a really cool place. Definitely going to go back at some point. They hold the koi as good luck fortune. Oh, okay. I was wondering I'm starting to wonder if maybe it might have been about good luck there, but all right. Yeah, I mean, hey, if koi are good luck, then hey, we found the right hobby, right? Give me a fish that brings me good luck. I'm all aboard. Let's see here. Jeepers, we've already done 40 minutes of a stream. Goodness, has not felt that long. I guess if anyone else has other questions about like what really got me into the hobby or certain parts of the hobby, feel free to put them down below. Otherwise, I see some people are just conversing a little bit in the chat here, which is always awesome to see. Love seeing people mingle with other awesome fish keepers. We always get so many awesome fish keepers here. Let's see here. I know last stream I also talked about. I'm working on a video where we're showing off a couple of new fish down here, including some new puffers. I'll say now the puffer count is currently, it's finally hit double digits. So we've hit 10. Obviously, like I said last week, my red Congo puffer unfortunately passed away recently. It's been about a couple weeks ago now. The little guy, I mean, he was an awesome fish. I loved watching him bury himself in the sand, but just was too picky of an eater for his own good. But I'm kind of learning that's the ambush puffers in general. The ambush puffers just are really, really picky with their diet. I mean, some of them won't even think about going for frozen foods, which I mean, like Fahakas, spotted Congos, pea puffers, all those guys, they won't even think twice. They'll go right after it. I'm seeing we're getting some more people in here. Stephen P. 2003 Aquatics, lurking and driving. How's it going? Well, glad you can make the stream here as well. And listen aboard. We were just talking about what's all getting us all here started in the hobby. Was saying earlier that some family members were a big reason why I got started. Grandparents once had a huge tank with, I believe it was tinfoil barbs, and an uncle of mine that lived up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul, Minnesota area used to breed angelfish, I believe, and still has like all sorts of plants that he takes, like the fish swaps and such. Lives up in the Twin Cities, as I said. Really awesome there. Always saw the fish room when I was growing up and always wanted something like it, and here we are today. Got my own fish room and everything. Tie my own shoes, keep my own fish room. IHSP's Tank Tribe, welcome. Another awesome member of the fish fam here is saying hello. Always good to see you there. See him a lot in Rico Stan and Fish Room Fever's chats as well. Believe even Chattanooga Edzers as well. Lumpy Dog here. New videos. Oh, yes. Plenty more coming. I need to do a video also about how like I acclimated the figure eight puffers because, well, I don't know about you guys, but when I first started acclimating my figure eight puffers to brackish water, I mean, I'll admit, I was worrying way too much about it, and it turned out being way easier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, really what it is that, yeah, you just got to be patient. Just get the supplies you need, get the sea salt, get a hydrometer to measure the salinity or the specific gravity is exactly what it's called. And yeah, just do your homework. Just read some things, watch some videos, read some articles, and yeah, it's way easier than you think. I'm not saying just dump it in the tank, but yeah, it turned out being way easier than I thought it was, and it's kind of got me excited to try some more brackish tanks, maybe even a saltwater tank here soon. I know I keep saying I want to turn my one big tank into a saltwater tank, hopefully soon. Ben Backstrom, checking out the stream for the first time. Welcome, Ben. Talking about what's getting us all involved with the fish hobby here. If you got your own story, feel free to put it down in the comments below. I'm a news writer anyway, so I mean, hey, I love stories and all that. It's my job to tell stories. Let's see. Ricky is here as well. Welcome. Driving and lurking as well. Good to have you. IHSP's Tank Tribe with a little story here now. My dad kept a lot of tanks when I was a kid. 20 years later, my brother decided to have a tank. Lo and behold, he brought home a pair of Oscars that I got way too attached to without even knowing. Yeah, Oscars are another fish that I hear so much about, and it's another fish that I've never kept. Having kept, been doing fish keeping and had more than one tank as soon as like middle school, which has been over 15 years now for me, I've never had an Oscar. There was one Black Friday where I got very, very close to putting a single Oscar in a 40 breeder. That was before I knew all about them, so I'm kind of glad I didn't end up getting it because it probably wouldn't have been the best idea. But yeah, I'm got another 125 gallon tank down here just sitting empty that I need to build a stand for first. But after I do that, I've been thinking about maybe putting some Oscars in that. I think when I asked earlier, people were saying like 2 to 4 would be okay in a 125, which was about what I was thinking, I guess. I was hoping to maybe get away with a little bit more, but definitely don't want to overload a tank anymore because, more fish is always cool, but you always want to make sure that the fish are comfortable. Oh, there was more to the story. When they got too big for his tank, he wanted to get rid of them and couldn't let him do it. I mean, yeah, that's probably the same thing with me and why I don't have a Mabu puffer right now. I would love to get one, and I'm not going to lie. Honestly, for this 240 behind me, I thought good and hard about it. I was like 6 feet side to side, 2 feet front to back. I mean, it's like it could work for a long time. It wouldn't work for the whole time, but it's like I just don't know how I would have been able to get a bigger tank down here because, I mean, if those of y'all that have never lifted a tank of this magnitude, let me tell you, it's heavy. I mean, it was like 3-4 people were lifting to this big monster down the stairs. I mean, that's the next thing. It's one thing to lift it on level ground, but the fact that it also has to come down the stairs here into the fish room, it's a workout to put it in the most gentle form possible. It's not an easy thing. Audra Meyer is here in the chat. Welcome. See, we got Chris here back as well, shoving the top support of my tank stand around on the driveway. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I might have misread that. Oh, shoving the top support off my tank stand around on the driveway to sand off the high spots. Don't know what I was saying earlier there. GRB Aquatics in the house. Welcome. Oh, Stephen P. Aquatics. I'm guilty of having an Oscar and a 10. Nah, I can't get on you too much. So, I mean, a little story about the goldfish that were in the 125. I mean, the smallest one at this point was maybe 3 inches. The biggest one was maybe like 6 inches. When we first took all the goldfish out of the pond, my mother and father-in-law's pond, they were just in a 36-gallon bow front, which I cringe a little bit every time I think about that because every time I look back at it, I'm like, what was I doing? And it's like, yeah, no wonder why I was cleaning that like for sure at least once every week, sometimes 2 times a week. And I mean, it was a workload. But very happy they're not there anymore. So yeah, I'd be lying to you if I said I've definitely broken some rules here as well. So yeah, I can't judge. I'll never judge. But JRB Aquatics, stunning tank. Thank you. Yeah, it's not bad. Here, I might need to work on the lighting part a little bit. I got some lights here that show the face okay, I guess. Lots of shadowing yet, but working on it. I gotta upgrade some of the equipment here. We're getting there though. Found a way to just get the a laptop to stay steady here, so you could get a good view of the tank here. So we're getting better here. Pepin Creek Aquatics, welcome. Been a while since I've seen you here as well. Good evening to you as well. Mariah Z. Oh, a little update on her fry here. So those of you that don't know or are just getting here, Maria Z had some fish fry that she's working on here. I believe some of those were also a pistos, if I heard correctly, but some rainbow fry. Hey. Y'all already know from with the tank behind me, there's nothing wrong with rainbows. Beautiful looking fish, and they can get along with almost anything, as long as they don't fit in the other fish's mouth. Let's see, 19 Luminatus rainbow fry and about 30 steel blue a pisto fry. That's That's quite the load there. Congratulations, Maria. That's exciting. I would love to start breeding some fish down here, but given all the other things I do in terms of day job and such, I unfortunately have just not been able to do, that extra work that allows the fish to, get that extra bit of comfort and lay their fry here. I've had angelfish lay eggs a couple times, but since I'm not really around enough, to feed them, 3 to 4 times a day here, I've just never been able to keep the fry alive, sadly, which is a real bummer because, with species like blue diamond platinums, I got some blue Philippine angels down here, got some marbles of different kinds, gold pearl scales, some veil tail kinds down here. The one I got in here somewhere, he might be hiding behind me. Trying to figure out where he's at. Oh, he's way over there, actually. He's off the screen here. He might be swimming in here soon, but I got a koi angel in here in the 240. He's so far over there, though, he's off the screen. Came to my senses. Up. Oh, Stephen P. Works. Came to my senses and rehomed him eventually. Well, hey, there you go. You didn't keep him there the whole time, so hey, there you go. He got a bigger home there, but yeah, like I say, I've had fish in not less than ideal homes as well. My green spotted puffers currently are, they're small enough to where I can get away with it yet, but they're, one, in freshwater, two, they're only in a 20-gallon long, and this is a community puffer that can grow up to be about, I think, anywhere between 4 to 6 inches here before their growth spurt is all said and done. So, not going to be able to keep them in there forever. I can probably be okay for maybe another month or two yet, but I need to start working on building a stand for their other tank, which is a 90-gallon bow front, so I can get them, that way I can get them into a new tank here soon. Maria Z, absolutely. Hey, congratulations again. That's awesome that you got so many fry there. It's a sign that you're doing something right there as well. So whatever you got going on in your tanks, keep doing it, because apparently whatever you're doing, you got something pretty awesome going on there. Let's see here. Our video in excellent quality. Well, that's good. I was wondering how it was going to be now that the laptop's a little further away from me than I had it last time, so I was curious about how the sound was going to be, but glad to hear it sounding good. Who needs sandpaper when you have a driveway? That's one way to get the limestone off, right? Oh, let's see here. Goodness, we're already getting close to an hour here. Time flies when you're having fun, right, guys? Well, let's see here. We went about an hour last time, but we're having fun right here. So, if anybody has any other final stories of what got them going here in the fish hobby here, feel free to drop them below here. We'll go on our little story here as well. Pretty much told all of what got me involved. I guess the one other thing that I've told you what got me started. So what really enhanced it? What got me to where I am today? What got me to where I am today is probably just actually seeing my first all-around fish store. Usually when I was young or even in high school, when I was getting fish, I would always just go to like your Petco's or PetSmarts, places like that. Sometimes even Walmart, which I'm kind of thankful they don't have fish anymore. But because I remember times, I think even they had fajakas at one point, and I think they said they needed like a 40-gallon or something, which is like, no. But that's another discussion. But I think when I went to my first ever fish store, it was the first ever legit, just all fish, aquatics fish store that I went to, was none other than the Source of the Madness itself, or at least that's a nickname I give it, Fish Freaks, here in Omaha, Nebraska, which, for those of you that are out of the area, if you're ever in the Omaha, Nebraska area, Fish Freaks would be, you can't go wrong there. There's the other 3 stores here are awesome as well. There's no loser in the fold here whatsoever, but Fish Freaks is an awesome, awesome store that has a great variety of fresh and saltwater. And, hey, maybe you're looking for another tank here and you don't want to, pay that hefty dollar for a new one. They got used stuff there as well. Like a 55-gallon. Literally, there's a reason why when my work and I have been talking about maybe getting a tank. I'm like, hey, if you guys decide that we want to do this, just let me know. I can just Thanos snap like and just say, hey, 55 and have it here tomorrow. But let's here. Looks like we got a story from Long Time. Oh, but before I get to that, I see Bob Kaler has joined us here. Kaler's Aquatics and Exotics. Another awesome channel right there. Great to see you here, Bob. We're talking about what's got us all started here in the fish hobby today. Would love to hear your story because I know you've got quite a array of fish in your collection as well. But let's see here. Lumpy Dog says, Uncle gave me a 30 over 20 aquarium stands, early 80s. I don't know anything about the nitrogen cycle. Lots of deaths until cycled. Ended up keeping a bluegill and pumpkin seeds from local lake. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that nitrogen cycle, I mean, took me a long time to figure it out too. I mean, there's still times where, I need a little refresher because there's still times where, when you've done this for so long and had so many tanks, it's easy to forget about it sometimes. I mean, it's easy to I guess maybe not forget, but, overlook parts of it at times. Like, sometimes you get that tank and you see a fish that you want. And it's like, oh, I got to have it now. I got to have it now. Some fish you can get away with that. But I mean, like with me and puffers, really, I really learned that that's not always a good idea. Because usually if I try to hurry a tank for a puffer, usually, not always, I've gotten away with it a couple times. But there's been a couple times where they are clearly not as happy in their tank when I first put them in versus if I let their cycle, their tank cycle the old-fashioned way. Let's see here. Also, like Nebraska Aquatics a lot. Like, I presume, Chris, you're talking about Nebraska Aquatic Supply? Yeah, I think they actually are just celebrating an anniversary here soon. Sadly, I was working that day, so I couldn't make the celebration, which was a real bummer. It sounded like they were going to have quite the shindig. But, yeah, the Nebraska Aquatic Supply is another really great one. I love getting their plants, too, because they get a nice little array of plants there, too. Also get some pretty cool-looking angelfish there. A number of my angels that are down here I've gotten from them as well. I think I've gotten a couple of rainbows from them as well. And, yeah, it's they got a nice little array, too. Like I say, any of the four, whether it be Nebraska Aquatic Supply, Fish Freaks, the other two, Rivers and Reefs is another one. I mean, they've just got some new management and have really done a lot of work in their store, really upgraded their stock. It's another store that sells fresh water and salt water. Awesome place there. The other one, of course, Fintastic Fish, which is the other half of my name. Those of you that don't know, here in the Omaha area, Fintastic Fish, Fish Freaks, Fintastic Freaks. That's how I got the name. but I mean, awesome places. Like I say, any of the four stores here in Omaha, can't go wrong. There's a little bit of something for everyone at every single store. Let's see. Oh, there's Bob earlier there. Got a 5-gallon for Christmas when I was 7. Haven't been without a tank since. Oh, shoot. I can't even. I mean, when you say it like that, I also can't remember how old I really was when I first got my tank. I mean, I know I've had tanks, like I say, since I was in middle school. I want to say even maybe late elementary school. I've had like freshwater fish for like over 15 years. And currently I'm 28. So, I mean, pretty much ever since, well, then, yeah, that would have been probably about 12, 13, 14 years old or something. It was, it's been a while, but I mean, there's always something to learn. There's still a lot for me to learn, at least, anyway. Let's see, Jeremy. Beta fish when I lived in the tropics, no heaters required. I mean, hey, here in the summers of Iowa, here in the basement, I mean, I turn all my heaters way down because, yeah, really, the heat's not required here. My basement gets a little warm in the summer, which saves me a little bit on the electric bill. I'm sure the tropics gives you the same luxury. Started me in the hobby 35 years ago, bred betas, so went from 1 to 100 within a few months of starting. I mean, that's pretty much what happened to me when I got my own place. So I think before I moved here into Council Bluffs, and I had an apartment in Atlantic, Iowa. It's more towards like west central Iowa. It's like the midway point between Omaha and Des Moines. It's about an hour away from either or. or Des Moines an hour to the east, Omaha was an hour to the west. But I think I had about like 6 or 7 tanks when I moved out of that apartment. I'm very fortunate that my landlord even let me keep tanks at that point. To those of you wondering, my biggest tank in terms of water capacity as I lived in the apartment was a 55-gallon tank. That's where I had my ghost knife, who now lives inside this 240 here behind me, and had some angelfish in there as well. Had some pearl scale angels as well as some marble angels in that bad boy, and still got pictures of that tank. It was an awesome tank. Sadly, the Amazon swords did not make the trip back very well. So they've all unfortunately have died off since, which was a real bummer because those swords were really pretty back when I had that tank going. Let's see, we've already gone over an hour here, so we'll get a couple more stories here. If anybody else hasn't shared a story here and wants to, feel free to put them in the live chat here below. I would love to hear your guys' stories about, otherwise, what was your favorite fish here? Otherwise, or your, not, well, I guess favorite fish is good too, but your first fish. Some people I know have said betas. Some people I think even said Oscars. I guess here's my question. If Bob Kaler's still here, what'd you put in the 5-gallon? Just because you have stirred my curiosity a little bit. Let's see. Always a lot of us to learn or unlearn. An evolving hobby for sure. I mean, that's hitting the nail right on the head. I mean, that's pretty much always saying. My thought is the day you stop learning here in the fish hobby is the day you quit fish keeping. There's always something to learn. I mean, especially like when I do with puffers and all that. I mean, some of the ambush puffers, there is very little known about. Like one of the puffers down here, I can't even find his exact species on more than 2 different websites. And one of those websites, I think, was like a chat forum. But I mean, fortunately, I mean, puffers mostly, once you learn like the region they're from, you kind of get an idea of like, okay, so this is kind of what their habitat looks like. Here's what temperatures they're probably going to like. Here's some other fish there that they might consider as food. So you're able to put some pieces together here. Let's see here. Got a couple of other ones here. I guess my first ever fish that I got were goldfish. I had I'm trying to remember how big that tank was. I think my first ever tank, actually I take that back. My first ever tank, I think, was like a 10-gallon tank where we had some platies, which is another awesome live bearing fish. I don't know if I've had platies, honestly, guys, probably since my first tank. Maybe that's something I need to do as well. Maybe I need to get a live bearer tank down here. I tried guppies a while back ago, but unfortunately, guppies are just a fish I've never had good luck with. And I mean, my water's not excessively hard. It's not really soft either. It's a little alkaline, but I mean, it's nothing I would think would really make it hard to keep guppies. But it's here. I remember us keeping the fair goldfish. My brother won. Personally kept my brother Oscars. Adopted him. Okay, yep, I remember that now too. Audra Meyer, an avocado puffer. Hey, now I got to give you credit there, Audra. That's one type down here that I do not have. Out of the 10 species that I have down here, that is one type of puffer I do not have. I don't think I've actually ever seen them anywhere here. But I've seen pictures of those. Those are pretty. They almost look like that's the one that kind of has maybe not reflective isn't the right word, but kind of like maybe a metallic looking like darkish greenish gold to it. But they kind of had like that body shape of an Amazon puffer, I remember correctly. But yeah, those are. It's another puffer on my bucket list. I definitely want to get one of those someday. But yeah, I heard about them one time, was looking about them. So like, if I ever see them, I want to know about them. But haven't seen them around anywhere, so I haven't been able to tell if the info was good or not. Just saw the fry video. Glad she spawned. Oh yeah, I think Bob must be talking about Maria there. Yeah, Maria got it's really cool to see that she's got all the fry that she does. Like I say, it's a sign that she's doing something right too. If you get one, if they lay eggs. Two, that they have a successful fry. It's a sign that you're doing something pretty great. Chris, yeah, the problem with guppies, that's probably another thing is that, yeah, maybe their genetics are bad, but I usually I overfilter my tanks here too, so I don't have to do the water changes, as much. There's nothing you can do to ever eliminate water changes to make sure that's known. But yeah, one of the main things that I always do, I always have some sort of mechanical filtration, and I add a sponge filter to every single tank. And usually if I add a sponge filter, I'm adding sponge filters that go over the tank's water capacity, because if something else crashes in there, sponge filters are your best friend. I love those things. Hey, we got Melvin in here. Let's see, IHSP again. The good... oh, wait, did I read that one right? Oh, wait, no, I didn't read this one. The poor good fish love and half-gallon base for 2 months. Eesh. When you say good fish, I presume you mean goldfish, or at least correct me if I'm wrong there. But we did do a daily water changes. He had a bubbler till my dad was able to get the tank and stand together for the fish. If they're super small, then as long as they're not there for the long haul, I myself will never do it. But hey, he got him a bigger tank. But yeah, I'd be lying to you though if I said I never did that either. I'd be lying if I never said that I never put a goldfish in a bowl before, or guppies in a bowl before. Which I guess out of the two, guppies would probably be better because they don't get as big, of course. But Chris just had guppies lay fry as well. Everybody's getting fry. Look at all of you guys out here. You guys are getting busy. Let's see here. 6 minutes. We'll do a few more minutes here. Need to get some food here too already. I had a big lunch already, but I'm already getting snackish here, guys. Melvin, Reef, Rosy Red Minnows. Don't get any love. Well then, Melvin, you may not like what I'm about to say. I got some Rosy Reds here in my fish room, but they usually end up meeting my ambush puffers, and soon after, it's usually a very short meeting. I'll leave it at that. But they are pretty too. I'm thinking about trying to keep some of them here as well in one of my tanks, because they are kind of a cool little fish here too. Another hardy one too. Yeah, Chris, those are bait. Yeah, like I say, I get ones. Mine are about, well, that may not give you much parameter with my fingers there, but I'd say the ones I have are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Some of my ambush puffers are about 4 or 5 inches, so they need the bigger ones here. All sorts of awesome people here. I almost don't want to leave because we have so many awesome folks here. We got so many people here. See, we got Pet Exotics back in the mix here as well. I don't know if I ever heard Pet Exotics' story of what got them in the hobby, because you have quite a few aquariums too, I believe. But I guess after I got the platy tank that I mentioned earlier, I think the first time I really started thinking about getting deeper in the fish hobby was when I got a 38-gallon tank. And this was after my dad kind of got tired of keeping the one tank. And he just decided he was tired of cleaning it, so it came down to me. I had that with like another 10-gallon tank, which at that point, this was still in my uneducated period. I had some feeder comments in there, and I always thought I was doing them a favor by buying them and putting them in 10-gallon, because I thought I'm always saving them from getting fed to reptiles, which I guess was true and all, but some of them, I think they only appreciated that 10-gallon for so long before they're like, yeah, enough of this. Bob Keller, do I have a dragon puffer? Well, a bit of a sad story. I did, Bob. I did. I'm trying to remember. I think it's been about a couple months ago. we had a storm here not too long ago, had a power surge, knocked out our power for about 3-4 hours. And I guess before I go further, I mean, part of it's on me. I wasn't very well prepared for this power surge. I guess if those of you that maybe want a little bit of an idea, now that winter's coming around, if you want some tips of how you can have at least some sort of a plan for a power surge, I got a top 5 tips video for power surges. Be sure to check that out if you haven't. But I guess to get back to your question, Bob, I did have a dragon puffer, but unfortunately, power surge went out, knocked his water parameters way out of whack. I battled it for about a week. It looked like he was coming through. He was acting just normal. He was swimming around, eating like normal, but then came down here one morning and he was gone. It's probably one of the fish that hit me the hardest when I saw, because I was so worried about him. And then it looked like he was coming out of it. And turned out that wasn't the case. He didn't make it through, sadly. But I feel like at some point I'll get a dragon puffer. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's been 2 months. It still kind of hurts. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, part of it is because I probably needed to be better prepared. Fortunately, now I bought a power generator, so if we even have power go out this winter, I got like a big. I'm trying to remember how many watts it is. It's like 6,000 something, more than enough to run the tanks and probably some of even the appliances here in the house. But yeah, I mean, better prepared now. The fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice. Here I am now. I got a generator now, and so hopefully I won't have to run into that problem again. Oh, man, Audra, look at you. Man, you got the avocado puffers and you have 2 dragon puffers that breed? That's awesome. I can only imagine what kind of dollar that would bring that in, too. I've had my 2 spotted Congos have showed mating-like behavior, or like the courtship and all that, but I've never seen them lay eggs here yet. Perhaps some of y'all remember relatively recently, I think it's give or take a month ago, might be a little bit shy of that yet, but my Fahaka puffer Finley laid eggs. So yeah, he announced, I'm still getting used to those new pronouns. She announced that she was a lady there. So yeah, those of you that don't already know, yeah, Finley's a girl. Got a plan in place though if she lays eggs again. There's a guy here, one of the 4 fish stores here in Omaha has a show tank with a Fahaka puffer that he's had for a few years now. I've had Finley for a little over 2 years now, I believe. And first time she ever laid eggs, I think they lay eggs somewhere. I read one article that said they lay eggs about give or take 6 months apart. So we'll see if that stays true here. If so, then well, we got a little bit of a wait. But if she lay eggs again, a guy with a Fahaka puffer in his show tank at one of the awesome fish stores here in the Omaha area has said, yeah, bring the eggs over here and we'll see if the male fertilizes them. If not, well, then I guess the male will probably likely eat them otherwise. But yeah, we'll see if it works out here. Maybe we might get some Fahaka puffer fry here at some point. But I would love to try to, seeing the courtship with my spotted Congo puffers, I would love to see them, breed some off here. Or even with my pea puffers or my red-eye puffers that I have up here, would love to try to see if I can get them to breed as well here, since they live in a community. And I know for a fact we have male and female red-eye puffers. Because, the males have different markings than the females. So I do know for a fact we have 2 males to 2 females. But congratulations, Audrey. Yeah, that's really cool. Dragon puffer fry. If you're selling any of those, you might have to let me know here. I might have to set up a tank to where I can maybe set one up for that, because I would love to get a dragon puffer at some point. Well, actually, I might take that. I'm not sure if I'm fully ready for another dragon puffer yet. I'm still kind of beat on that on Mushu on there. That was the name of my dragon puffer that Dizzy didn't know. But yeah. Oh, Melvin, do you plan on doing saltwater in an African cichlids tank? Well, to be honest with you, Melvin, I once upon a time did have a African cichlid tank. I had what were they called? I mean, it was like the yellow lab chromices and such. I had a couple of peacocks with them. I can't think of what Lake Malawi. I think that's what it was. Cichlids. In my 55, where the Exodon tetras are now, I had them for a while. I think I kept them for about 7-8 months, and granted, I love their color. I love their activity. It's a beautiful fish, but I may have also just got a bad batch. But mine were like crazy aggressive, and I tried moving around the decor in the tank. I've tried, all sorts of different things to put it in to, keep down their aggression. And they just were so aggressive with each other. They were literally killing each other. And by about 7-8 months of keeping them, I finally just decided enough is enough. I want a new fish. But I wouldn't say that I'm never going to try it again. I might give African cichlids a try. Obviously, I have a jewel cichlid here. I've tried to get her a male in there so that they could breed, speaking of breeding earlier. But she has proved to be a cruel mistress so far. She has not played well with any of the males that I've given her. Killed 2 of them even before I could get them out of there. But I think I've understood that, I'm not going to, I don't know if I'm going to try to get her a male again because she hasn't been playing very nice with them. But as for your saltwater tank, I guess I have one brackish tank. I know that's not really a saltwater tank or a marine tank, in other words. But I think I'll give saltwater a try someday. Like I say, I have a big 185-gallon bow front that I want to turn into a saltwater tank. I'm kind of pumping the brakes on that currently, though, because, my house is very old. It was completed in 1893, so the electric fuse box can only handle so much power, and with 26 tanks down here already, I can tell that sometimes it's already throwing a little bit of a hissy fit with me sometimes, saying like, hey, you kind of got a lot of power on this thing. I'd appreciate it if, chilled the heck out a little bit here, but at some point, I'm sure I'll give saltwater a try here. Chris Arson, cruel cichlid named Fate, being a cruel mistress and all. I honestly, just because she was a jewel cichlid and I know it's a female, I've just always named her Juliet. But maybe that's the nickname I got to give her, because I was also thinking of nicknaming her just Cruella and all that because she's been cruel. But that's another good one there. Bob Killer. That's great. Yeah, this house is, because the 1890s, ain't that like the Victorian age even yet? That was, that's a while ago. When I heard 1893, it's like, no wonder why some of the fuse box is just like, yeah, I know you like your fish and all, but I'm not exactly state of the art, so fuse box is probably like, I'd appreciate it if you kind of chilled the heck out on this a little bit. But plenty of conversation going on in here. At there. Audra, I was also thinking that, it's hard to tell sometimes between if a fish is like breeding, or maybe courting is the proper word, or if they're fighting. Because honestly, with when I first saw my spotted Congo latch onto the female like so, and she's swimming, at first I was kind of like, what in the world? But then I remembered a video from Corey in Aquarium Co-op. It's like, oh wait, I know what this is. The male's like, yeah, he's getting fancy with the female. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, puffers love to go through snails. That's one thing all my puffers will do. The only problem is that not all my snails down here are very big, so my snails get pretty They're not very filling for my puffers, unfortunately. But I mean, at last, I guess they still help with the grinding down of the teeth and such. Still seeing Kaler's comment there. That's still making me chuckle. Don't know why I'm getting such a kick out of that. But let's see. Oh, we've hit an hour 20 here. So, you know, we'll hit an hour and a half here, and then we'll go here. So we'll do 10 more minutes here. But let's see here. I'm also going through here. 25 people watching, 38 likes. Y'all are awesome here. I mean, this is awesome. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000. Which, speaking of 1,000 here, I know he was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here. Haven't seen him comment, so he may not for a while. So he might not be. But to those of you that don't know, Rico Stan, another awesome FishTube member, guy of the Fish Fam here, has. Those of you that don't know him, he has some awesome live streams. Among a lot of us here in this chat, has some awesome live streams. But I mean, he talks to some awesome fish tubers on there. He had some other. I can't think of who he's getting this week, but recently he had Corey from Aquarium Co-op on his channel. I've been on his live stream before. He has some awesome people from the FishTube family here go on his channel. I think he's at 900 subs right now. So here's a little channel. I might make a little message on this here later too, but here's a little channel or challenge here. Rico Stamp, let's get that man to 1,000 subs here before the end of 2021. That man is more than deserving. And I think with all his live streams, he's already said that he's already got the public watch hours down. So yeah, he's just got to get the 1,000 subscribers, I think. And then I think he's good. So I would say, guys, that, yeah, let's, if you have not subscribed to Rico Stan's channel already, subscribe to that man. He does awesome unboxing videos. Like I said, awesome live stream videos. I mean, all sorts of great stuff on there. That's a man that's more than deserving of getting 1,000 subscribers. By all means, yeah, let's see if we can get him there before the end of 2021. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure he's already gotten over the 400 public, or 4,000, excuse me, public watch hours. So might have to get it up there. Bob sent a screenshot, so looking for revenge. Uh-oh. Hopefully you're not. So what you're saying is you might be in the doghouse later. Am I hearing you right, Bob? Oh, okay, there we go. Bob with the overall amount there. He has 903 right now. So there you go, 97 to go to the magic number there. I know I'm subscribed to him there already, been for a long time. He's also been a long-time supporter of my channel there as well. There, I know I've seen him on a lot of other channels here too. I know I've seen him on Bob's here as well. I've seen him on Fish Room Fever, Chattanooga Ed. I've seen him, I believe, on Aquarium Co-op, Steamfight Aquatics, another awesome channel out there. All sorts of awesome channels out there. He's supported a lot of them out there. And so if you haven't already, check him out, because that's a great way to not only just, see what he does, but see what a lot of other fish tubers do and get introduced to a lot of other fish keepers. People like that interview other fish keepers. Great way to meet some new ones out there and expand your horizons a little bit. Lots of other folks here. 3G, how's it going? Benoski Tanks, how's it going? Just see you up there. Let's see. I think I saw some other people up there earlier. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I thought I missed somebody there earlier. Melvin Race, it would be considered a Victorian house. I wondered. I mean, I guess I don't know all my geological times, but my father was a history major, so I know a little bit, I guess. I guess some of that got passed down to me. Also, would you do lake tag? Man, I wish I could pronounce words better. We'll just call it Lake T Tank with Shelley's and such. You know, it's funny you mentioned Shelley's. Like, I was mentioning this, my recent video. I know I already talked about it a whole lot, so I won't go on a big discussion already. But in my most recent video, I just published it earlier this morning. One of the fish stores that I went to, it's called the Fish Fix. It's like a store here that someone built literally right by his house. here in the rural part of Iowa. It's an awesome place, and I know he's working on a website, so he might even be able to give online orders here soon, which I know some of y'all do that. So some of y'all that do online orders here, keep an eye on my channel. Now that we can also do posts, as soon as I find out if he does set up a website to do online fish orders and such, because believe me, he had an awesome inventory. I'll definitely be sharing that link because his inventory was awesome. But one of the things that I saw in there, he had multiple shell dweller tanks, and honestly, not gonna lie, Melvin, I'm actually thinking about it. I'm thinking a shell dweller tank might be kind of cool, actually. I mean, just seeing all the big shells there and all that he had, and those. I mean, he had pearl shellies. I think he had some. I mean, he had all sorts. I think he had at least 4 different kind of shell dwellers. There are probably even more than that. But seeing all those and just like the aquascapes he also had in his store tanks, not gonna lie, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking a shell dweller tank might be really cool. So I mean, yeah, that might be a possibility. Black Calvis, Leo Lepia, White Calvis, yeah. 31 watching, yeah. That might be a record. I don't know if I've even had that many before in a giveaway stream, which reminds me, something I will say, I don't want to tease it too much, but I mean, if my channel hits 1,000 before the end of the year, I'm thinking I might go ahead and try to maybe do like a little store or something here once that time comes where I can start selling like the t-shirts. I'm also talking with somebody to maybe design even some hoodies and all that. But after the first rough draft, the price was nowhere near what I wanted it. It would have been like 75, 80 bucks per hoodie, which is, I like my channel. I want to I want to wear my own apparel, but I don't want to pay 80 bucks for it. And I'm pretty sure not a lot of you would do that either. But I'm thinking of maybe making a hoodie as well. I also got like some gator scarves out there. Those of you that don't know, there's like the thing that you pull over and they cover your face like so. Some people have used them as a substitute for masks, but I won't get into all that. But it's also a good thing to wear that for like the winter. Like you can wear it up here, pull it up over your ears, and it's a nice little thing to kind of break the wind and keep your face a little warm. So I was thinking about maybe I'm thinking about maybe making some gator scarves as well, maybe some hats too. I always look at all the Murphy hats throughout various YouTube streamers, so maybe I need to make a hat too. Jeffrey, I appreciate that. No ifs, you'll hit 1K. I mean, some point I'm sure, yeah, but I'm hoping to hit it before the end of the year, but it comes when it comes. But yeah, it's getting closer. I know we're getting close to 850 already. I haven't looked at my sub count since I started the stream here, so I don't know if it's gone up at all here really, but I guess we'll see. I'll see soon enough here. But see Melvin right there again. Yeah, I would love to do Shelley's too in the future. I mean, they're cool. I mean, I know they don't all have that vibrant color like the Lake Malawis do, like the electric yellows and all that, which is kind of what talked me into giving Lake Malawi cichlids a try before I was like, oh wow, these guys just go and kill each other. But yeah, I'm thinking shell dwellers might be in the near future. I don't want to say how near future because like I say, my fuse box down here is kind of like, chill out, please. But at the same time, might have to figure something out here too. I might have to build like a double deck stand for my 55s or something. Put one underneath the Exodon Tetra tank and maybe give some shell dwellers a try. All right, guys, I see that we're getting up to an hour and a half here. So this has been fun, guys, but I think I'm going to jump. Thank you so much, guys, for all coming in here and doing all that you do here. I have enjoyed every last bit of this. I guess I see one more thing here. I see Petzotics. Oh, I think can help you with that. Let's talk. Oh, you do merch and promotional items such as a side job. All right. I might have to keep that in mind. I'll have to keep that in mind, Petzotics. I do have T-shirts already designed. That's really the only thing I have designed because we have a store here in Omaha that I've worked with on that. But if there's a cheaper deal out there, I guess I shouldn't say cheaper. That's a bad way of putting it. But I mean, if there's another way, like if there's another option out there that can get everything under one roof and it's all the if the details are right, I'm all aboard. I'll have to give you an email here sometime soon. I might have sent you a business card one time because I feel like I sent you something at some point, but just in case, I'll find I guess Petzotics, do you have like Instagram or something where I can maybe message you or something and at some point? But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning into my live stream here. This has been a ton of fun. So many awesome people here. 44 likes. I know we've had over 30 people watching at some point. This has been a lot of fun. Same time next week here, Monday, 5 p.m. Central. Looking to make this a weekly thing now. So if you enjoyed this, would love to see you back here. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already watched my video that I've uploaded here, be sure to check that out. Awesome little fish store tour. Talked about it a couple times here. Make sure you don't miss that. It's a really cool place. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video, next stream. Until then, guys, you'll already know. Stay fantastic.